Where were you born and where do you live now?
I was born in the state of Chihuahua at the family ranch. It's called El Salitre, which has been in the family for many, many years. I was there until I was about 7 years old, and then we moved into town so we could all go to school.
All right. And where do you live now?
I live in San Diego, California, USA.
All right. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So next question. Growing up, what was your most valuable possession?
My rifle and horses.
Rifle and horses?
There were rifles there at the ranch, but I had older brothers, and
Uh-huh.
so I made up my mind that I wasn't going to wait for them to let me give me a chance to use it. So I started to do some working on my own, doing some, let me tell you what, milking cows for the neighbors, the ones that the rich people didn't want to, they didn't know how to do it, so I would do that for them. The town did not have telephones, so we still had a telegraph. And people that sent telegraph to the farms and the ranches over there, I would deliver those on horseback and charge 10 pesos for each trip.
Gotcha.
So I rounded up 300 pesos and bought my first 22 rifle.
All right. Do you know how old you were?
I was about, I would say, let me see. I left school. I must have been about 10 years old.
10 years old when you got your first rifle. All right. Well, it leads into our next question. How did you learn to ride a horse?
We were taught from the time that we were little. When we were 3 years old, our job was to work the horses to cool them off after they came back from riding so hard that they were covered with foam, all the perspiration. And you don't stop a horse like that. You cool it off by walking it slowly for about a half hour. And that was our job as little kids. As we got a little older, they would put you on the saddle and you ride the horse, just walking the horse slowly until it pulls off. Then you take the saddle off after that.
What was a typical day like? So waking up in the morning, what would you do? And
Okay, I would wake up in the morning, and we would, if we would milk the cows, feed the cows, and then take them out of the corral and take them across the river and have them go to the pastures across the river.
Right.
And wash your face and eat your breakfast and go to school.
Go to school. And did you have any afternoon chores?
Yes, when you came back from, there was no running water, so we had water from the well and feed the cows in the afternoon, and we also had to clean up the stalls, the horse stalls.
Continuing to the next question, it reads, what were the values that you were raised on?
We were taught never to disrespect your elders.
Okay.
To be honest, and also we had a very strong family code of honor, and that was how we were brought up. And we were kind of an extreme because of our being a Roman Catholic. You wouldn't go to bed until you kiss your parents or elderly people around the house. You kiss their hand, and then you said goodnight, then you went to bed. And if somebody asks you for a glass of water, you go and get the glass of water, you cross your arms and wait for them to finish. If you're wearing a hat, you take your hat off and wait for them to finish the drinking the water, and then take the glass back to the kitchen.
Gotcha.
Very strict.
All right.
Very strict. And you did not address people, older people or strangers, as you always use usted, which is a different way of more respect.
More formal.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So this leads perfect into our next question. What did your parents or family believe in for spiritually, religiously, and or culture?
Roman Catholic is a 2,000-year-old religion, and in those days, the state of Chihuahua is so isolated from the rest of Mexico that some of the traditions that we practice there were almost like if it just happened that the Spaniards came in, like the day before. The rest of Mexico probably evolved into more liberal ideas and ways to bird shipping, but we did not. We kept doing it the old-fashioned way.
So the next question is that so can you give me a quick summary of how and when you went from Mexico to the U.S.?
I was 17 years old, and one of my grandmother's, Magdalena's, your Nana's brother, had a business in Tijuana at lumber yards and hardware stores, and he asked my father, your great-grandfather, if I can come over and help him out for a while, because he wanted to go back home and spend some time down there. And when I came to San Diego, I met you, Buela, and we kind of fell in love. She was 14, I was 17, and I decided to stay in San Diego. I wasn't supposed to stay, but when I met her, I decided to stay in San Diego, so I've been in San Diego ever since.
All right, another question is, what do you remember what the first thing you did when you came to the U.S.?
I started to work right away because one of my uncles had the same wood refinishing business, and I helped him on do that kind of work. And I also started attending English for the foreign-born, and I went to school in the evenings to learn English.
So you would do a night school to learn English while you were working?
Yeah, I went to night school, yeah.
Okay.
I could have gone all the way to high school through there, but then at that time I was ready to get married and decided that marriage was more important to get my high school diploma, so I got married.
Okay. All right. So next question is, what do you think the greatest challenge in your lifetime has been?
Surviving, getting used to the culture of this country was not easy.
Okay.
Because we came from a whole different culture down there. I found out how necessary, how it was to learn English. I started to work for a piano store in San Diego, downtown San Diego, and one time the man, one of the men that run the store asked me to, supposedly he wanted me to move some pianos from one place to another, so I didn't quite understand exactly what he wanted, so I went ahead and I created all the pianos. In those days, they didn't just send them like that. They used to put them on a piano on a wooden crate. That was a big job, so I did all of that. And he said later on, he said, no, that's not what I wanted you to do. I want you to put it back. And I said, this is not going to happen to me again, so I'm going to make sure that I learn good enough English so I wouldn't have this problem again.
All right, so next question says, who was the person you most adored or respected or had the greatest impact on your life?
My father.
Your father? Why?
Yeah.
Why did he have the greatest impact on your life?
He was a man that went through a lot of I don't know if you know a little bit about the family history. He lost 3 brothers and deal with those things. And when his brothers died, he was on charge of raising their families, cousins, and all of the, helping the widows and all of that. So he was under a lot of pressure all his life, but he was able to manage that.
So the next question says, which of your ancestors would you most want to talk to again or for the first time?
I miss my grandfather.
Yeah.
I used to spend time with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the Baca side of the family. His name was Juan Baca Ronquillo. And I spent time with him. By the way, he used to loan me his old 22 Winchester. He used to let me borrow that when I was a little kid. And he's, man, I'm telling you about the activities that happened down there with the Comanches. He was kidnapped by the Apaches when he was a young boy, maybe younger than you. And he had to get away from them. And I guess, I don't know how he did it, but he was able to do it. He would never leave the house unless he's had his rifle with him, his 30-30 carbine. That was a popular gun in those days. And on every pasture, they will build a turret in case they run into the Apaches down there. They can run in there and get in there and be able to survive. Better chances to survive by getting into the turret.
Was it your family or the town had a rivalry with the Apaches at the time, or
The whole state
the
had
whole
it,
state? Okay.
but that was before my time. My grandfather, he
Oh,
saw part of it as a young man, but his father, his parents, that they survived fighting the Apaches and the Comanches for couple of centuries, a couple of hundred years, and everything was geared towards surviving all these encounters with the Apaches. They used to raid Chihuahua all the time.
so the question reads: If you could take three things on a deserted island, what would you take?
I would take my three grandkids with me.
Your three grandkids. Okay.
Yeah, they drive me crazy, but I love them, and I'll take them with me.
What is on? All right. Okay. Thank you, Buelo.